Hey, Jason Seiden here. So I am coming to you today from the headquarters of Radio Flyer, standing in front of their new electric bikes. So I'm gonna make this short today because I want to go find out how much these things cost and see if I can buy one because they're freaking awesome looking. So I'm here for a panel. It's June. There's an LGBTQ community panel. I am representing allyship because this is something that I have experienced in well, if you watch these videos, you know that when I do them in my office, I've got an HRC flag behind me. So it's something near and dear to my heart. 5 kids here. I lost my daughter, Elle. She was gay. We've got Lisa's kids, we've got 2 boys and a non-binary child. So this is something that I deal with all the time. I recently attended a different panel by high school kids talking about their experiences. And one of the things that struck me, and one of the things that I expect I'll talk about today, is identity. Now, I don't know exactly what this journey is, but I do have some experience with things that impact identity. When I lost Elle, I had to change my language. I was suddenly careful about talking about stories where I was with my girls, plural, or my daughter, singular. And there's some expected changes in identity as we go through life. And there's generally a rite of passage for those. There's a rite of passage to become an adult. There's a rite of passage to become a family when you get married or remarried. There's a rite of passage when you become a parent. But then there's other changes to identity that don't come with a rite of passage. For me, losing a child was one. That changed my identity, and it was hard for me to deal with. But of course, I dealt with it, in my 40s as a fully formed adult with a healthy sense of self, so I could navigate it. And I'm looking at a lot of these kids today, and they're dealing with challenges to identity, and they're dealing with it young, and they have to deal with it before they have a fully, this is part of their process of coming up with a fully formed sense of self. It's a different ballgame. And I have a lot of respect for the journey. And, I do what I can to be an ally. It's a work in progress. I know I fall short, but I'm here for the ride. And if you've got kids or neighbors or friends or people around you, or if you're going through this journey, the bad news is it's hard. The good news is I'm starting to recognize one of the reasons why it's hard. When I was listening to this panel, these kids were talking about being teased and bullied. And certainly there's a universal element to that. We can all, I think, relate to being bullied for some reason. But look, I'm tall and I'm a skinny kid growing up. So, I got called Daddy Long Legs. I was an albatross because I had this wingspan like forever. But it's literally skin deep. It's different than being teased for literally who you are. And so, to wake up every morning and to have to think about your identity, that's something. That's a journey I have a little experience with for a different reason, but I have a lot of respect for. So I can't wait to see what I learned today. It's just something that I thought I'd share. And if you've got somebody in your community going through this, I'd encourage you to think about their challenges and understand that they're experiencing them more deeply and a little differently than we might realize. And if we can hold on to empathy for that and support this group with that journey, especially the youth going through this, I think it makes a big difference. I hope it does. And that's all I got. I love you. See you next week.